Yo, 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 what's going on, man? Welcome in, welcome in. Today's November the 9th, 2022, and we got a 13 game NBA slate to get to, man. So let's get, right into it with no further ado, man. Let's jump right into it. I know the room probably will fill up a tad bit more as people come in. As always, I do like to start with a quick recap, even though I'm always posting, my recaps as well. We didn't have NBA yesterday. Hopefully everybody got out and voted. And on Monday, we actually had a lot of games, and it sucks to have so many opportunities and not be not be a profitable day. Jumped on the Magic, I think, a little too early. They laid an egg, lost on the first quarter, first half, and then we hit on the Celtics. Got a few units back on the Celtics, and then we caught a real bad break on that Cavs game. Was trying to stay away from player props in that spot, but what's funny is, we did the stars will be stars parlay, and I gave out a lot more legs that hit than didn't. So probably should have just played all player props. Probably would have been a lot more, uh, you know, successful and one more. But I hadn't even capped those. I just kind of gave those off top of my head based on the situation. So looking to get back right today, man. Like I said, it wasn't a good spot. I was absolutely all over the Cavs. Played them at 2 units at -1. The line went to 4. I did the video about it. Loved the line at 4. Thought it'd be a smack spot for the Cavs, and they let the ball go, man. They caused me financial disaster is what they called me, because I was all over them in that game. But we always talk about bankroll management, making sure we use our units the right way, not putting up, putting up too many units on a single play, not too much money. It's a long season, so you don't want to go too crazy early in the season for sure. So um it was something else I wanted to mention. Also wanted to mention the morning show, man. Let's cap. That's Ronald's show. Cashed it with Chris, man. I appreciate you people for coming through, man. It's a lot of people in the morning tapping in with me. I did not expect that to be as big as it has been. 7 a.m. If you guys don't know, 7 a.m. I'm doing a show every morning throughout the week. Where I'm capping the games, kind of giving you guys early looks, just letting you guys know what I'm looking at. Sometimes it's official plays, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we just kind of going over the chat's jumping in the morning. I don't know where y'all be at, but the chat be jumping. I don't know if people at work, at the gym, but the chat be jumping in the morning, with sharp looks too. So appreciate you guys for coming through over there, man. All the retweets and the likes. I don't talk about this stuff, man, but I just hit 17,000 followers on Twitter. That's dope, man. I appreciate the love. As always from you guys, and then also over on YouTube, man. I just got 2,000 subscribers, and I just started YouTube this year, so it was like earlier, right before the season came to an end. I started doing YouTube videos, so I appreciate the love, man. It's too hard to put into words, but I really, sincerely appreciate you guys for rocking with me and tuning in, and just kind of listening to my take. I love being able to, bring the community together. It's no competition at all. Like I'm just in this to try to win as much money as possible, bring together the community, and provide the information, man. I love providing the information. You take the information and you say, you know what, I like what Chris talking about. I want to fade. I want to play him, and you play him. And if not, you like, you know what, Chris don't know what he talking about. I'm fading him. This guy is off his rocker, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? Like the information is just what's most important. So sincerely appreciate you guys for the 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and the 17K over on Twitter as well. So appreciate that. My girl Breezy, I see her in the chat. Shout out to Breezy. Happy birthday, Breezy. I saw you posted on your timeline earlier. Big shout out to Breezy. We the same age. I'm like 13 days older than her. So shout out to Breezy, man. Breezy, go crazy tonight. I hope you win every ticket you put in. All right, now that we got all the housekeeping out the way, let's get into this 13 game slate, man. A lot of value on the board today, as it was on Monday. Hopefully, we can attack it a little bit better. And if you were profitable on Monday, hopefully you become even more profitable today. A lot of people locked in with me on YouTube already. I appreciate you guys for being here. Hit the like button for me. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. I always say that. It's a lot of people trying to make money sports betting. It's a lot of people that don't have time to do the research, and let me do it for you. Just tell the people where to come through. Markel, I see you. B Dix. Cappinn 101, Reese, what up? What up? Free minds in the chat, Scotty, McKenna, I think is how you pronounce that. Yeah, NBA do stay janky. Free minds, it's crazy, bro. Daily Uncut Gems, my brother, always cashing. What's up, man? Appreciate y'all for being here. Let's get into the slate though, man. Let's talk about these games today. So, I got let's see, I got 1, to hold on, wrong set of notes. I'm trying to tell you guys how many official plays that I locked in already. I got I think I put it in my note. Hold on. All right. So one, two, I got I had more, but things kind of changed. So I've been kind of dropping plays, not making things official. And we got an early game. We got a game that's actually about to kick off. So let's go to that game first, real quick. I talked about it on the morning show. We got the Orlando Magic and the Dallas Mavericks. This game actually opened with Orlando catching. They was catching some points in this one, and that's where you kind of want to take them, right? It opened at I think it opened at 6.5. It went all the way up to 7.5, and then we see Paulo got ruled out. Banchero got ruled out. So now that line's all the way up to 18.5, 8.5. I'm sorry, not 18.5. 8.5. The total opened at 217. It's come down since he got ruled out. It's the game actually starts in about probably about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Um so the thing that's interesting in this one, and I tweeted this out too, right? Like these away favorites don't cover on the road. I think that's important for people to, to know. Like these away favorites do not cover on the road. The stat that I had pulled up, if you guys tuned into the morning show, was away favorites land more than 7 points so far this season are 0-8-2 ATS. So taking Dallas. I'm sorry, taking Dallas could seem a little scary in this spot. You do get one line though, however, where the Toronto Raptors did go to San Antonio and they were laying 6.5 when the spread opened. They ended up closing at like 7.5, and they beat the brakes off San Antonio. San Antonio was extremely shorthanded in that spot, though, a lot more shorthanded than the Dallas Mavericks, than the Houston. Than the Orlando Magic are tonight. So I actually still like the play, man. I think plus 8.5 is a good play. Also, you get the Orlando Magic. They didn't look good in their last game, but they were actually favorites in that game. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned from taking them last game is that the Orlando Magic, they don't perform well when they're favorite. They actually gave up 134 points to the Houston Rockets. Didn't look good in that spot at all. But now you get them they're back at home again, third game in a row at home. They're 4-0 against the spread as a home dog. So when they're catching points, they typically do well. I actually think the top play in this game probably is the first half. I think you can get it at plus 4.5. That was something I was extremely interested in. The line actually changed. I don't even know what it went to. Before I could put the bet in, Banchero got ruled out and locked up on me, and I never got a chance to go back and look at it. So let me check that real quick while we doing that. I don't know if y'all got looks or anything in this game. Let's see. So first half spread is it's still 4.5. I think Orlando could cover that. I think they can stick around, especially early in this game. I think the 4.5 is a solid play. I mean, I know people not looking to back the Magic. A lot of people just looking to take player props. So I couldn't talk anybody off not playing it, but I like that spot, especially for Luka and the boys. They got a big game tomorrow against Washington in DC. It'll be a second night of a back-to-back. They also got a game that's unmotivated. Like it's an unmotivated spot after playing 5 games at home. First game on the East Coast trip. Unmotivated spot, especially when you hear the news that Paulo isn't playing. So I like this game to go. I like the Magic to stick around in this game. They've done it so far already against teams like Golden State, teams like the Boston Celtics, even the Charlotte Hornets when they were actually hitting shots. So I like that a lot. J Moss said Mavs first half team total is 57.5 plus 100. Let me see. Hey, Bookie, I see you waving your hand, bro. I'm gonna get to you. If you got something for this first game, I want to come to you real quick, and then I'm gonna get back into my plays. Bookie, what's up, bro? You got something in this first game?
Yeah, I just had something I wanted to get out real quick before the game started. So Chuma Okeke under 9.5 points, minus 102 on FanDuel. So obviously no Paulo, but I don't think that necessarily increases his role that much. He's more of a spot-up shooter for them. He's gone under this line in 9 of 11 games so far this season. His season high field goal attempts is only 7. He's averaging 3.9 field goal attempts with only 5.1 points. This season, Dallas is allowing the least 3-point attempts, 6th lowest 3-point percentage to opponents, 8th least points to small forwards, and the 4th least threes. Not a great matchup for him considering he's scoring just under 60% of his points from 3. So I think it's a bit of an over adjustment. And Dallas is without Wood tonight. we're already allowing the third highest field goal percentage within 5 feet of the rim. So I think Franz, Suggs, Carter get their way in the paint tonight. I don't think he's going to have too many looks tonight.
Okay, I like that, Bookie. I think that's an interesting way of looking at this game too. I think it's just a sleepy spot. I think it's really a big sleepy spot for the Mavs. I wouldn't be surprised to see them come out here and kind of sleepwalk through this game. Like I said, much bigger game on deck tomorrow against Washington in an unmotivated spot, especially knowing Buntro's not playing. We see teams drop the ball all the time when their superstars aren't playing. So on the opposite side, right? We see that. We saw the Pelicans just struggle against Golden State B team, right? Like you just see that in these matchups. Teams just not motivated to play against the weaker competition. So like I said, you guys don't have to play that one, but let's move on because I don't want to talk too much. I want to open it up to you guys. So that was the first game. Let's go to Indiana. So Nuggets and the Pacers. Both of these teams coming off back-to-back wins. This will be the Pacers third straight home game. They've won 2 in a row and they've covered 6 in a row. So it could be a letdown spot for these guys. On the opposite side, you get a Nuggets team coming in. They just beat the Spurs up twice. We know that they play a lot of offense, but not too much defense. They actually rank first in 3-point field goal percentage at shooting 42%. And Indiana ranks dead last in opponent 3-point percentage. They're allowing teams to shoot 41%. So Denver should make a lot of threes in this game. I know a lot of people probably on Michael Porter Jr. threes. I was actually looking at Jamal Murray last night. His threes was over 2.5 was plus 145. The problem is he hadn't been shooting that many, and I feel like if I take him, he gonna hit his points, but not hit his threes. So what I locked in, I did put, and I'm playing all, excuse me, I'm playing all player props for 0.75 units. So not a full unit, but not a half unit either. 3/4 of a unit. So if you're $100 better, I'm putting 75 on player props just because they don't always have to happen for teams to win. That's why I like to look at sides and totals a little bit more than player props. But I've actually been more successful on player props this year. So Jamal Murray, though, I played this over 18.5 already. I got it at a minus 120. He's starting to see an increase in his minutes. If you guys go look at his player log, he's played at least 30 minutes in 3 of the last 4 games. And the game that he didn't play 30 minutes in was actually one of the games against San Antonio where they blew San Antonio out. The first game, they actually got San Antonio out the way early. I think he played like 23 minutes. So he wasn't needed in those games. But his first 4 or 5 games of the season, he was about 23, 24 minutes per game. So he's definitely, jumped over that 30-minute mark now. Probably just feeling a lot more comfortable. It takes him a while to kind of, anybody coming off injury, where they haven't played in a year, it's going to affect them a little bit different. So I like him to clear this number. And all of those games that he's actually played over 30 minutes, he's cleared 18 points. I think he had a 19-point game, a 23-point game, and then like a 25-point game. Also, you get a Pacers team that's coming in. They're playing at the 11th fastest pace, which helps. I mean, that's not going to hurt anything. We know that they don't play a ton of defense, even though their defense has picked up just a tad bit. And the other thing, I'm always talking about this when I'm talking about cap and player props. I'm always looking at volume, right? So if you look at Jamal Murray, his actual field goal attempts in those 3 games where he's played at least 30 minutes, he has field goal attempts of 17, 19, and 21. And one of my golden rules is if you give me a player that's taken the same amount of attempts that they need to actually clear their player prop, if it's within 1 or 2, I'm probably gonna jump on that. Like I love that spot for Jamal Murray. So I locked in Jamal Murray over 18.5 points, and that's a 0.75 unit play for me. Best of luck if you guys tell on that. I see people in the chat talking about Bones. I know Bones went off last game, I think, against San Antonio, or it was the game before. So, excuse me, still not feeling the greatest. NBA props that he liking Bones. I couldn't talk you off Bones at all. Bones been going crazy. I love Bones Allen, one of my favorite young players in the league. I also, now that I think about it, I couldn't talk people off Ben Mathurin. I know Mathurin had a bad game last game. He shot like 2 for 8, but I think he only finished with like 10 points, 12 points, 8 points, something like that. So I would look for Mathurin in the bounce back spot too, especially against a Denver team that likes to, play at a faster pace than they actually rated. I think Denver is actually rated at the 19th fastest pace, but these guys are going to be forced to play fast tonight, man. That's why you see the total so high. Let's see, the total in this one opened at 234. I think that's the highest total on the board. So and it's actually going up to 235. And I actually think it's still value on the over. I think these teams scored 240 points tonight. So I'm not official on the total, but I don't see a lot of defense. We know Denver doesn't play defense. The Pacers, they play a little more defense with Miles Turner in, but he gonna have his hands full with Jokic. He's a pretty good defender, but Jokic get him in foul trouble. If he gets him in foul trouble, this game going way over. So I know Halliburton been killing his PRAs, his assists. I couldn't talk anybody off that either, especially in a fast-paced game like today. I don't even know what they sitting at, but I love that as well. Daily Uncut said, "What do you think about Franz Wagner tonight?" You gotta like Franz tonight. I feel like Uncut, because without Bonchero, he's been the guy like that's been facilitating the offense. We know that they don't really have a point guard. Paulo was distributing the ball as well. Even with Jalen Suggs being back, Suggs is a pretty good point guard. He's decent, but somebody gonna have to step up. It could be Bobo. Bobo be balling. I love watching this guy play. And when we get off the spaces, when this show's over, I'm actually gonna turn the game on. I would turn it on now, but I'm not gonna be able to concentrate. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Franz. I think you could look at him. Prop said minutes uptick. Pacers perimeter defense is bottom tier. Could get Pacers out of the way early as well and find some more opportunities. Yeah, that's a fact. It's gonna be interesting though. It's gonna be interesting to see if this Pacers have been playing a little over their heads. So eventually, I think they come down to earth. Prop said, "Get yourself some water." I got some. Prop. I'm about to take a sip. Yeah. So that's how I feel about that game, man. If you got, oh shoot, Monotone got a blue check beside his name. Check out Monotone. What's up, Monotone? If you guys like something in that game, I hope you guys get a chance to. We got plenty of time to get that in. Let's move on to the next game though. And I'm only going, like I said, I always talk about this. I'm only going through the games I actually got action on, not a whole bunch of other games. So that gives the everybody else more time to talk and share their plays as well. Blazers and the Nuggets. I didn't have anything official in this one. The total in this one has gone down. We've seen a lot of injury news throughout the day be just kind of lingering with this game, and people being questionable, then they not, and it's just a lot going on, man. So let's see. We got most updated injury news. So Pokashevsky is available to play. It's not related to this game. Pokashevsky is related to play. Lonnie Walker just got ruled out with the illness tonight against the Clippers. Neesmith is in. Cody Martin got ruled out. We got the Mavs starting lineup. We got Dwight Powell starting ahead of JaVale McGee. So McGee probably gonna come off the bench, of course. So what else did I see? I feel like I saw more as it relates to this game specifically. Let's see. We got all right, so here we go. We got where did I see it at? I know I saw it. I know I'm not tripping. We had news about Jeremy Grant, right? Am I tripping? Let's see. Y'all bear with me for a second. Let's see. I know I ain't make this up. I swear I saw them guys like. Okay, here we go. So Nurkic was actually listed as probable. I think now he's listed as questionable. Then we got Jeremy Grant also listed as questionable. So it's a lot of moving parts in this game, man. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of stayed off. I don't have time for the manipulation of the injury report, especially when these players are going backwards, right? If they get upgraded to looking like they're gonna play, typically they don't. But when they get downgraded to questionable when they were probable, typically that could mean anything. That could mean that they're gonna play, or they gonna go through walkthrough and maybe they aren't gonna play. So I typically skip out on games like this. So I don't really got nothing anyway on that game. Rockets and the Raptors. I do got an official play in this game. I'm looking at so line opened at 8.5 in favor of the Raptors. And it went up to 9. Now I see it bet all the way up to 10, which I absolutely agree with. Do I want to lay 10 with Toronto? Nah, I don't. But I could see them winning this game by 10 points. And 10 mean a blowout, right? So you don't want them to win by 10. You want them to win by 15. So you're not, like trying to get a push or get a backdoor cover from Toronto, from Houston. So the way I looked at this game was so let's look at these teams. So Toronto's coming off the loss in Chicago. They went to Chicago and lost. I think it was 111-97. That was the third night of a back to back. Third game in 4 nights, and the second night of a back to back. They play in Toronto the night before, and we know that they're shorthanded playing without Siakam. They've done well without Siakam in the past, though. They've also done well without Fred VanVleet. They have a lot of next guy up man mentality. And I see Markel said Fred VanVleet over 8.5 assists. It actually opened at 7.5 this morning. You could have got that. So So Houston, they're coming off a straight up and ATS win against Orlando on Monday in a game that I got wrong, where they scored 134 points. This will be their third game of a 4-game road trip. And what when you look at Houston, right, they can score the ball. We know that they can score, but they're not stopping anybody, right? So I think that's why you see these inflated totals with Toronto. Injury wise, Jayshawn Tate is still out for them. Kim Birch on the other side for Toronto still out, and as I talked about, Siakam is also obviously not going to play. The Rockets, they're 1-5 ATS in their last 6 road games versus a team with the home win percentage above 60%. On the opposite side, you get a Raptors team that's 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games playing off 1 day's rest. Houston also ranks 21st in offense, and their defense ranks 27th. We know we can get a lot of points off the Houston Rockets defense because they don't really care about it. They're just trying to outscore you. Toronto's defense, on the other hand, ranks 4th, which is why I like Toronto in this spot, right? So what I was looking at, and I talked about this on the morning show, whether I was going to play the Raptors first quarter or take the team total or the spread or whatever the case might be. I think I'm gonna go. Well, not think. What I came up with is I'm taking the Raptors in the first half minus the 5.5. I think it's a smash spot. I think Toronto comes out here and is up by 10, 12, 13 points, sort of similar to what we took last weekend over the weekend when we took the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first quarter, and that kind of rolled over against the same team, right? So Toronto's back at the crib. They're rested for this game, coming off 1 day's rest, and they still got plenty of scoring, right? Guys like Scotty Barnes and Fred VanVleet, Precious Achua gonna be in there, OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr. These guys can score the ball. Anybody can pretty much score the ball against against the Rockets, and I expect their defense to show up. So this one for me is more of a fade for the Rockets than a play on the Raptors. However, I do like the Raptors in this bounce back spot. If you look at the numbers, they typically bounce back well after ATS loss. Just looking over the last couple years, what I ran was over the last 5 games. So the Raptors have the 2nd best offensive rating and the 5th best defensive rating over the last 5 games. Then you got a Rockets team, like I said, they played over their head last game, so it's only right that they come back down to earth. They scored 130 points on 134 points on Monday against this Orlando team. But since the start of last season, when the Rockets score 130 points, that next game they come back, they're 4-0 to the under. They don't score any points. They score 99 points after scoring 130 points on average in a 4-game sample size. They're losing the first half by 15 points. So I love that we can get the number at 5.5. Like I said, I think it's an absolute smash spot. The Rockets come back down to earth. Houston also remains the worst first half team in away games. They're 1-7 straight up and 2-6 overall ATS. So they're losing the first half by average of 9 points. That's this season. And they're allowing opponents to score 63 points in the first half, which is the 4th most, or you could say they're ranked 27. So that's what I'm on officially. Give me the Raptors. I wanted to take the first quarter, but I caught it late. It was 2.5. I think they're up by like 5 at the end of the first quarter. I think they push it to like at least 10 or 11 by halftime. But I didn't play it because I couldn't catch the 2.5 number. I actually, when I saw it, it moved to 3.5. So I kind of stayed off that. I couldn't talk anybody off a trifecta spot, but I definitely like the first quarter and the first half. I think this Raptor teams come out and just smack. I think they smother the Houston Rockets, and they allow their defense to become offense. I hope that makes sense. They get a lot of turnovers. They're leading the league in, or not, maybe not leading the league, but I know they're one of the better rebounding teams. They're one of the better three-point defensive teams as far as makes, as far as field goal attempts, and field goal percentage. And they're one of the better teams that defense overall. So I kind of gave you guys some stats. Best of luck if you guys are telling me on that one. I'm all over the Raptors. First half minus the 5.5. I wish I could have got it at 4.5 earlier, but I missed that line. But like I said, I think they went about 10 at the end of the first half. Bucks and the Thunder is the next game I got, and I tweeted it out earlier. Bobby Portis was the first name that kind of came to mind. You saw this line open at 7, and then the news of Drew Holiday came out, and it came down to 6.5. He was listed as doubtful. Since then, he's been ruled out, and then of course Giannis has been ruled out as well. So they'll be without both of those guys tonight, which makes for interesting interesting game. They still the let's see, they're still favored by 1.5. So teams, the books are still expecting them to win the game. The totals come all the way down from 220.5 down to 213.5. It's a lot of value on the Milwaukee Bucks side. I like Bobby Portis. Maybe his, definitely, I think his points. I think he's going to be super aggressive. Without Giannis, he's the guy that typically steps up. I think his points was like 20.5. I would play that. I think OKC has nobody that can guard him, especially on the interior. But I didn't play that. Maybe I'll make that an official. Maybe I'll write that one down and make that an official. But I like his points. I'm not touching them rebounds at 14.5, even though he had like 100. It felt like last game because these two teams did just play each other. So I won't give that one out as an official, but I do like Bobby Portis points tonight. I'm gonna write that down, put it on my short list. Over 20.5 points. They literally like don't. I mean, you could look at. I think guys will have a green light. Javon Carter, of course. What's the guy? Grayson Allen. He's been playing well. I think he could go off in a spot like this, especially if Bobby Portis is facilitating and kicks it to him. So I like that look a lot. But what I did lock in, I got a prop I did lock in this one, and it should come to no surprise. Mr. SGA himself, especially without Drew Holiday. I feel like you got to look at SGA. No Drew Holiday and no Giannis to protect the rim. That means you got Brook Lopez, who's a pretty good defender. But SGA should be able to have his way today, other than more so than a lot of other times when he plays against the same exact team. Dude has a sick usage rate. Like he could easily clear 30, 35 points a night, especially with the spread being so low. I don't think it's blowout potential for OKC. They're gonna play hard. And I think, missing Drew Holiday, of course, Chris Middleton hasn't played a game. And without Giannis, I do think it'll be a pretty close game. I don't think that OKC will get blown out. And I love SGA over his 27.5 points. I think that's self-explanatory. I don't have to go through and give you guys a number. Dude's been crushing. I don't expect him to let up tonight. Love to look for SGA over his 27.5. Another 0.75 unit play for me. Those are the two player props that I locked in, him and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray over 18.5, SGA over 27.5. What y'all think about that in the chat, man? 74, 75 people watching on YouTube. Y'all hit that like button for me. Retweet the space if you can, if you're on Twitter and you into that type of thing where you want other people to win money. Don't be greedy, feed it to the needy. Get more people in here. But yeah, so that's what I'm on for that game. Jazz and the Hawks, two conflicting sides for me, man. I don't want to fade the Jazz. I don't feel like I want to get in front of them right now. They've covered 6 games, best team in the Western Conference. Coming off, sweeping the Lakers and the Clippers in that back-to-back. And then going back to LA and beating up the Lakers and scoring 134 points in that game. I also don't want to fade the Hawks in this one either. At the crib, I don't know if we got the news about Trae Young. I haven't seen anything whether he's going to play or not. But they're on the front end of a back-to-back with a much bigger conference game tomorrow against against the Philadelphia 76ers, a game that means a lot more to them. Of course, they're probably going to be fired up for games like this. But I would be looking at DeJounte, man. I think, especially if Trae doesn't play, he's the guy that played big. The AJ Griffin guy came off the bench. You probably won't have his props. He played, pretty big as well. I think the reason why I like the Hawks in this spot, especially if they didn't have a back-to-back tomorrow, is because I feel like they match up well with the Jazz. They got a lot of guys that can switch the pick and roll, a lot of good defenders. You add DeJounte to guys like Collins, John Collins, and DeAndre Hunter is a elite defender for his position. We know what Capella does as far as rim protection. I just feel like they got all the ingredients, man. I think that they're not a team that you really want to fade at the crib either. They're like I said, third straight home game. And Jazz are in a bad travel spot. Flying from LA over the weekend to Utah, for one game, then having to get on the plane yesterday and fly straight to Atlanta doesn't bode well for your internal time clock, right? If people fly all the time, it's kind of difficult to adjust to the time, especially with daylight saving time too. That's just too much to throw in. So this is a game I really don't want to get in front of either one of these teams. I like the Jazz right now. I think they're a buy-on team, and I like the Hawks. I think they're also a buy-on team. So I'm probably gonna sit on the sideline and watch this one. This the popcorn and a glass of red wine game for me. The Hawks 12-2 ATS in their last 14 home games versus a team with a winning road record, so they get up for spots like this. But it could be a letdown spot because you did just come off giving the Bucks their first loss of the season too. So no real opinion for me in this one. I don't think I'm gonna play that one. Knicks and the Nets, another one. No opinion for me at all. I feel like the Knicks are a team that I'm not betting on anytime soon. After they lost, after being up against Atlanta, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? They're not a bet on team for me. Also, the Knicks, they're just a high variance type team. They scored 120 points last game, and Julius Randle shot the ball like he was Trae Young. So I'm not looking to back the Knicks in a game where they're coming off such a high shooting percentage like that. Like I'm not looking at that. Also, the Nets at home, we know that's an absolute fade. They're 7-32 in their last 39 games as a home favorite. Of course, the drama with Kyrie is their first game back off of I think a 3 or 4 game road trip. Laying 2.5, not a spot I'm really looking to back them. Although I will say I lean towards the Nets in this spot just because and the spreads move in their favor to 3.5. Jock Vaughn, shout out to Jock, just got announced as the coach over there. They will be without Watanabe, the Japanese guy. He's actually a baller. He plays defense, long athletic guy. He's out with an ankle injury, so they'll be without him. But KD probably gonna go crazy. We know KD always talked about the Knicks not being great. So I'm pretty sure they got his props adjusted accordingly. So I'm probably off of that as well. A game that I didn't really look too much into. I don't want to fade the Knicks because they're kind of hot right now. But I also don't want to back them at home. I like them when they're a dog and not getting points because they don't typically cover spreads as a favorite. And I'm not ever looking to back the Knicks. I don't care if they playing Duke. I'm off the Knicks after they did me dirty the way that they did. So not a buy-on team for me at all. They win, that's cool. I'm not playing either side. So Pistons and the Celtics next game. This line is crazy. Like in Orlando actually beating Dallas 10-8. 8 minutes left in the first quarter. All right, so back to this game. So Pistons and the Celtics. I think the spread. So let's see. Detroit. So opened at 11. It went up to 12. Now it's all the way up to 13. And I get it. Like the Pistons are on the road. They don't typically play that well on the road. But if I saw the Pistons keep a game close like 2 weeks ago against the Milwaukee Bucks, and if they could do it against the Bucks that are a much better defensive team than this Boston Celtics team, I just feel like I don't know. I can't take the Celtics to win by 13, bro. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Total in this one opened at 224.5, and now I see it's went up to 226.5. I actually like the over because the Pistons they're not playing defense, they're just playing offense. We cast on the Celtics first half last game, and I like it again today. The Pistons typically start the game slow, but I'm not trying to lay 6.5. That the spread is crazy for the first half. So I think it's a game I'll probably sit out. I'll tell you guys this. I saw Marvin Bagley, I guess, been playing, not playing, but he's been going through shoot around and trying to get himself back on the floor. Maybe not his first game back, but when Marvin Bagley gets back, I will be looking to back the Pistons a little bit more. I think that they're really missing him. I know I keep talking about him. He was listed as doubtful, then I think he got ruled out in this game, which tells me that he's really close to a return. I like Marvin Bagley, man. I think that he's what's missing on the defensive end for this team. So this game has blow up potential. Not a game I'm really looking to touch too much. I would love to hear from you guys about that one. Grizzlies and the Spurs, nothing for me on this one. Grizzlies coming off a loss at the crib to Boston, probably gonna be looking to smack up the Spurs. The Spurs got all their guys in. The spread moved from 6.5 down to 5.5, and I would actually agree with that. I think the Grizzlies have a chance to actually play up to their potential in this one. They're rested. They got Keldon Johnson. They got Devin Vassell. I think Doug McDermott got ruled in. I see points in this game, which you see the total go from 233 to 234, and I think I think the Spurs can keep this one close, man. I legit think they can keep this one close. So nothing official I'm on, but I like the Spurs to kind of keep that game close. Might be crazy. Moving along, Pelicans and the Bulls. Spreading this one actually opened at Pelicans -1.5, or Pelicans -1.5. I think it's moved now. So let's see. New Orleans. Where is New Orleans? So spreads moved to 2. Total has gone up from 230 to 233. And man, I think it's a spot for the Pelicans, honestly. The Bulls are hot right now. I expect for them to regress just a tad bit. I saw that Drummond was listed as questionable. They will need him for his size down low. Also, Larry Nash Jr. Had banged his knee up in the last game, and he was listed as questionable. Don't know if he got ruled in or not. But I think the Pelicans, I don't think they're gonna lose too many games in a row. We know that they end up losing the last game against the Pacers. That was a bad spot for them overall. Both of these teams are in bad spots. I think this is like the 5th game in 8 days for both of these teams, with a lot of travel for both of the teams as well. So with both teams having about equal rest, coming off a day's rest, playing a lot of recent games, I don't think the Pelicans are going to keep losing. I think that they'll figure it out. If you watch the post game interview, you saw Zion talk about just not wanting to how he was happy that he was hitting threes and had a big offensive game, but he talked about how he hate losing. So I'd be looking at the Bulls do match up pretty well with them, but I think the Pelicans win this game. I think that they get off the snide and things start to reverse themselves a little bit. I like the Pelicans a lot. I didn't play them yet, but that was actually one of my favorite spreads. I love being able to get teams that to win by one possession. So free play, give me the Pelicans -2 in this game. Like that a lot. And I probably go back to Ingram points too. Whenever I see a point spread that low, it lets me know the game's gonna be close. I'm probably looking for Ingram to be the guy to take over. If you play this player prop straight, I gave it out the other day at 22.5 in the Stars Will Be Stars parlay. And he cashed that easy. I think he finished with 29. I would look for the same type of effort and energy for him today, especially off a loss in a game that they probably feel like they need to win. So that's what I got there. I'm trying to get through all of them real quick so I can open it up to you guys and I can actually be quiet. So we got the Suns and the Timberwolves, not touching it. Chris Paul, I think, got ruled out. Spread opened at Suns -4.5, down to 1.5. And let's see, it's actually flipped to Phoenix was favored by 4.5, came down to 3. Now it's flipped to Minnesota -1.5. Rudy Gobert, I think, is back for this game, which is probably subtraction by addition. I don't like Rudy Gobert and his team. They haven't figured it out yet, but he's clear health and safety protocol. He practiced yesterday. I think he's going to play today. Devin Booker probably going to go crazy, but I'm not looking to back this Timberwolves team. They got to show me I'm not willing to blindly take them, especially the Suns coming off a loss in Phoenix the other day, and now they're rested on their second game. Even without Chris Paul, I'm not touching this game. Cavs and the Kings, and then the Lakers and the Clippers, and I'm done. So Cavs and the Kings line actually opened in favor of the Cavs -5, and it's been since brought down to -4. Man, so total opened at 225, and 225 is up to 228.5. So people are expecting a little less defense and for these teams to get out and run. I think I agree with that as well. The Cavs are a really good defensive team, but this Sacramento team just keeps getting the short end of the stick, man. They got cheated in both of their last 2 games, so their record should be a lot better than what it indicates. I don't like that Malik Monk is questionable with a growing injury. He's a huge part of their offense off the bench. And I would probably be looking to back the Cavs in this spot. The Kings just keep getting real bad spots, man. Tyler Hero traveled when they were in Miami the other day. Clear travel. The referees admitted it afterwards. And then Kevin Huerter got fouled on the 3-pointer by Klay Thompson. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not, but he clearly got fouled. Then the referees said that, yeah, he got fouled, but you can't do anything about it then. So it's like, like that doesn't help admitting it afterwards. What you gonna do? Give us the win? Does it go down as a tie? So the Kings just keep getting bad spots. They are back home after that long road trip for them. And I think the Cavs probably got a bad taste in their mouth after they finished the game the way that they did last game. I like this Kings team a lot. I think they're a buy-on team, but not against this Cavs team, especially coming off a loss. I think the Cavs probably come in here and handle business. I could see them beating the Kings, but this game being extremely competitive. At the end of the day, the Cavs just got too much size. They got too much playmaking with Darius Garland and with Donovan Mitchell. And I don't see the Kings being able to slow them down at all. So I don't think they have a defender that's going to be able to guard Donovan Mitchell. And Darius Garland should be able to get whatever he wants. If those bigs can be consistent, I think that this game shouldn't, necessarily be a 4-point game. I think it's probably a 7 or 8-point game. But nothing that I played, I have a strong lean towards the Cavs. And early in this game too, I think that they probably got a real bad taste in their mouth, and they probably come out and try to make an example out of the Kings early in this one. So nothing that I played, but that's that. Lakers and the Clippers. I really don't even want to talk about this game, man. I don't want to talk about the Lakers. But the money is coming in on the Lakers. Don't ask me why. They look terrible. But I do think a big part of that is like not having Patrick Beverley. I was running some SDQL. The Lakers played the last 2 games without Patrick Beverley. One of those games without LeBron too, of course, in Utah. But they're giving up 20 more points a game without Patrick Beverley. So, we always look at, what his stat sheet says, but you look at his plus minus. Patrick Beverley has one of the highest plus minuses on the Lakers, and he actually does a really good job of being able to, lock down on the other defenders. I mean, on the opposite team's, players. So I like the under in this game. It opened at 221.5. It's down to 219.5. And I think it probably goes under that too. We know the Lakers typically don't score a lot of points. And the Clippers can't score a lot of points either. So I can see this game being, 107 to 102 or, something like that. I still like the under, and I think it's still value on the under as well in this game. Nothing that I locked in officially either. Patrick Beverley is back now. He's off the injury report, which makes the Lakers defense a little bit better. I talked about Lonnie Walker being questionable. He also is listed as out, and Bron and AD are both going to play in this game. The Clippers own the Lakers, so you could say the Lakers are due for a win, or you could say the Clippers just own the Lakers right now, and the Lakers can't win. But I think I would look towards the Lakers in this spot. It could be a letdown spot for the Clippers after a big win against the Cavs the other day, a game that they shouldn't have won that caused me a lot of financial devastation because I was heavily invested. But I'll get it back. I'll get that back. And that's what I got for you guys, man. Like I said, officially, I'm on the Raptors first half minus the 5.5, and I'm on Jamal Murray over the 17.5 points. I mean, I'm sorry, 18.5 points. Minus 120. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 27.5 points. Minus 115 or minus 110 is what I got that at. So those are the 3 official plays for me. Not going too crazy today, but do want to hear from you guys. What y'all on, man? Let me know if you got a play. Let me know what you on, and I'll get you guys up. Let's see, Bookie, go ahead, bro. Before you go, Bookie, let me read some of these YouTube comments. So Euphoria said Murray over only 18.5. That's wild. I thought the same thing. That's why I jumped on it. Jeremy Grant got ruled out. I didn't know that. Love it. SGA took his points and assists, cashed it yesterday with Holly points and assists. Holly Burton. Okay. Popcorn, wine, and Theraflu. Yeah, bro. I don't take medicine, though. I don't take medicine, bro. No medicine for me. Unless I'm dying. I got to be on my deathbed to take medicine. As a Knicks fan, I never bet on the Knicks. Yeah, I couldn't bet on the Knicks, too. Franz got 4 already. Okay. Orlando starts to fade in the second half. That's a fact, Captain. That's a fact. They always fade in the second half, which is what I've talked about it before. That's what you see, these teams who are young. They don't know how to finish games, right? You don't have that finisher. Paulo is amazing, but that doesn't mean he's gonna come straight into the league and be a finish. The dude's like super impressive. Everything that he's done so far has been amazing. Spurs lost the last 6 straight to the Grizzlies. I feel like the momentum right now changes the course. All time they are 74-32 versus the Grizz. Okay. Back to when they were Vancouver Grizzlies. Okay. Chris, can we get a stars will be stars bill? Yeah, maybe we could do that towards the end. How you feel about the Knicks first quarter total over 56.5? The Nets actually been playing defense. So I don't like it as much. I don't know if they're gonna continue to play defense or not. That's a really good question though, Malik. So one thing I had looked at earlier was I was looking at teams on NBA.com, looking at some of these advanced numbers. And if you look at the last 5 game sample size, the Nets first of all, they're killing the first quarter. We know the Knicks typically come out and kill the first quarter as well. But defensive rating, last 5 games, the Brooklyn Nets are number 2. So they're locking up on defense. The Knicks are 24th, so they're not playing as much defense in the first quarter. And I want to say, I'm sorry, that's overall. So if you go in and actually change it to first quarter, then let's see what we get. Defensive rating in the first quarter. The Nets are number 3, only behind the Philadelphia 76ers, the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the Nets. The Knicks are actually rated 8th. So that would make me think not to take the first quarter. And then if you wanted to look at traditional numbers over the last 5 games, and you wanted to look at just the first quarter, I feel like it's going to be a no spot, but let me see. So we got let's see who averaging who. So Brooklyn's actually averaging 32.4 points in the first quarter. The Knicks are averaging 30 points in the first quarter. So that would indicate a yes. The Knicks are a plus 2.2 in the first quarter, and the Nets are a plus 8.2, which is actually the highest percentage. The Nets are the best first quarter team over the last 5 games. Them and the Nuggets, but you can't include the Nuggets. They've been playing against the Spurs 2 times. So Nets have been the best first quarter team in the league over the last 5 games, though. Yeah, and the Knicks are 10th. So maybe you do get a lot of points. The Brooklyn Nets are shooting 53% in the first quarter, and the New York Knicks are shooting 46%. But we all know the Knicks can be, they can be a little iffy. So that's what we got there. Let's see what else I got before I continue. Don't touch that Kings Cavs game. Not worth it yet. In this point of the season, yeah, I ain't messing with that. I'm probably off of that. Lakers Clippers game will start out close. Take Clippers live when it's a a pick 'em during the game. Thank me later. I typically do that too. Uncut. Do you think LeBron will get 20? So LeBron's actually nursing that ankle injury, or not? My fault. It's not ankle. It's a foot injury that he's nursing. But he said in his post game, in the press game conference yesterday, that he feels like he has to play. The only thing that's gonna make him feel better is rest, but he feels like he has to play. In order for this team to win, they don't want to start the season 2-9. So it is like a must-win game for the Lakers tonight, man. You don't want to start the team 2-9. The last time that happened was like 2014, and that team was horrible, man. Yeah, we don't want to talk. I guess I don't want to talk about the Lakers, man. Don't bring up the Cavs game. Yeah, Stoney, I don't want to talk about it. Raptors -9. The 6 capper said he on that. Houston needs Jalen Green and Kevin Porter both to have good shooting nights to cover. Don't see that happening tonight. That's a fact. That's a fact. Matter of fact, shout out to my guy Mitch. Me and Mitch was going back and forth earlier. Mitch told me he likes Jalen Green over 2.5 turnovers. It's plus money too. I think it was plus 125. I might ride with him on that. Put a little something on that, maybe a half unit. I typically don't play turnover props, but this guy, Jalen Green, turns the ball over a lot because he has the ball so much, right? It makes sense. And if you go back and look at his last 2 games last year against the same Houston Rockets team, Jalen Green had 5 turnovers in one, and he had 3 turnovers in the other one. So I do like Jalen Green to go over his turnover prop tonight, over 2.5. I retweeted that over on the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show page too. So if you guys want to tail that, then shout out to my guy Mitch for that one. That's his play, not mine. The Bobby Portis points and rebounds 32.5. I like that, Super Kel. I think he go crazy tonight, man. Aiden under 16.5. D said he leans under 5.5 assists for Sabonis. And then JR said DraftKings boost Tatum, KD, Ja, and LeBron to score 20 points. Proceed with caution. Tatum, KD, Ja, and LeBron to score 20 points. I think I like that. I think Tatum definitely going for 20. KD, he has to score 20 to keep them in that game. Ja will score 20 against San Antonio, who's the fastest paced team in the league, especially off a loss. Love that look too. And then LeBron should get to 20 tonight too. I do like LeBron, but LeBron probably be the person that I feel like because LeBron playing, even though he injured, he getting to 20 tonight. I don't think LeBron would suit up on a night where he feel like, especially without, you already missing a guy like Lonnie Walker, who provides the offensive presence more than the defensive presence. I think LeBron get 22. I don't play boost though, but I would play that. You just need too much to go right for me. But I like that. Plus 100, I need better odds though. But I like that. I like that a lot, JR. Bookie, let me come back to you, and then HB, I want to get to you. If y'all got requests, man, and y'all over on Twitter, send me those requests so we can hear them, man. Let me hear what plays y'all got. Bookie, I want to kick it to you, and then HB, I'm gonna come to you, bro.
What's up? So yeah, I give out the Kiki one. 4 first quarter points. Sweating that under a little bit right now. But, gonna get my looks on a few other games. So going over to Utah and Atlanta, I actually like Utah a little more. I know you liked Atlanta a little more. I think I got them at +4, and I think that's just a few too many points, especially with Trae Young game time decision now. So even if he's in, I kind of like that 4 number. I think that's just a few too many points. I also took yesterday, or the day before yesterday, actually, sorry, the DeAndre Hunter under 1.5 threes with Trae out, because they actually boosted his threes up with him out, when in reality he actually shoots a lot less with him without him. And it was up 55. Cash that. It's down to +110 now. I might take that again if he's out again. New Orleans, I took their money line in Chicago. I don't know why New Orleans is being undervalued so much. It's kind of getting crazy. There's such a deep team, especially against a Chicago team that's without Kobe White, and I don't know if Andre Drummond's in or not. I didn't see that. And then going over to OKC Milwaukee, I like Javon Carter. It depends where you're looking. I saw over 6.5, over 7.5, and over 8.5. Last game without Giannis, just last game he got 19 points, shooting 12 times, I think. And now without Drew Holiday too, there's just a lot of volume and usage up for grabs. I think 7, 8, 9 points is too little of a numbers, so I took that the 7.5 at +108, and then a little same game parlay for the Memphis San Antonio game. I took Ja over 28.5 because it's just the perfect team for him to score to hit this number. Super fast-paced team with no paint protection. I threw Memphis money line in there, and then Dylan Brooks over 0.5 steal. San Antonio is actually allowing the most steals per game right now to opponents, and the most steals per game to small forwards too. So I really like that one. Dylan Brooks averaging a steal per game right now in November. Moving over to Phoenix and Minnesota. I took campaigns under 14.5 points because, hold on 1 second. Because Minnesota is the best team in the league against pick and roll ball handlers in terms of limiting scoring, lowest field goal attempts, lowest score frequency. And without Chris Paul on the Suns, Payne's under this number of 14.5 in 13 to 21 games. Just last game, he only scored 14 versus Philly, and they have a 10% higher pick and roll score frequency than Minnesota. And that's just where he's going to get a lot of his looks. I really like that under. And then I also took D'Angelo Russell's under 14.5. It's 13.5 a few other places. He's really struggling to put the ball in the basket right now. And then Phoenix is actually the second best team in the league in terms of limiting pick and roll ball handlers scoring. So that's what I'm on for tonight. And I actually, yeah, no, that's what I got for tonight. That's all.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you cash them. I think you got some solid looks, like always, Bookie, and I definitely hope you cash them, my boy.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. HB, I want to come to you, and then it was a couple other guys who have requested. I think they dropped out. So if y'all got a play or a question, definitely request up. HB, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, kid? You can hear me?
Yeah, you good?
All right, cool. Sound like you're getting better. Keep it up.
Yeah, for sure, bro. A lot of tea, a lot of rest. I've been chilling, bro.
All right. So I kind of snuck out of class so I could just get this play. So for some reason on FanDuel, it's not up again. So I caught Josh Hart at 4.5 assists. The last 3 games this morning, I caught it. It was like 8, 9, 9 with assists. I'm like, yo, what's going on over there? So I caught it for over 4.5 at +122. Let me see if it's still up there, because it just, for some reason with the Portland game, everything disappeared. And it's
because of the injuries, HB. Like Jeremy Grant got downgraded to questionable, and then also
Lillard just got ruled in instead of Simons too, like 1 minute ago.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you shared that, Bookie. This is what the show for right here. Because I mean, if I wasn't on the show, I would know that, but I didn't know that. So I appreciate you sharing that, Bookie.
Oh shit. Okay, here you go. So I damn. All right, it's still plus money. So I caught Josh Hart for over 4.5 assists at plus 122 this morning. Now it's plus 104. The reason I did it, the past 3 games, he surpassed that crazy 9-8-8. When I saw those numbers, I jumped on it immediately. I was like, nah. I mean, I didn't nuke it, but I definitely, I was like, nah, that's a 1-unit play for me right there. And what else I did? What else? Buddy Hills with threes. I just sprinkled a little 5 threes because he's been going off. And Michael Porter Jr. threes plus 178. I'm like, these guys are like on fire right now. It's like, and apparently, it's just a feeling. I didn't really go in depth with like research and stuff. I just looked at what they've been doing. If there's a streak, I'm gonna continue. Oh, and Jason Tatum, also. Kevin Durant, 35 points, plus 154. I didn't go with the win because, like you said earlier, like they don't really do well at home covering the spread. I feel like Kevin Durant is like just because he missed those 2 free throws.
Think he going crazy?
And his streak, I guess. Yeah, I think Kevin Durant is really in tune with like social media and what people are saying.
We know that, bro. Most sensitive superstar ever, maybe.
Really, exactly. People really got on him with missing. Oh, you suck. Da, 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 da. Like I'm on Twitter, I'm seeing it, and he loved playing against the Knicks. Like last time he played against the Knicks, he had a triple double. And that's what I sprinkled just a little bit. It's that plus 3,000. Just sprinkle just a little bit. You never know. Hey, he did it before. And another reason, because what's his name? Randall was apparently he was talking shit in the media. Was like he said, oh, we don't need that guy. We good over here. So you already know when Durant is. I feel like he's gonna go 40 tonight. So I just sprinkled a little bit on 35. That's I caught it at plus 154. I'm just going off a hunch. They always say go with your gut, and those are those what I went with.
Yeah, no, I like him. I like him a lot, HB. Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash him.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely, bro. Let me kick it to Ben. Ben, what's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I can't complain, man. Just driving home. I got a couple things. First, we saw, a stretch of games last year where Chris Paul didn't play. I think there's a lot of value when Chris Paul sits. Let's see if I can get it right while driving. But in 7 games last year, while Chris Paul sat and Campaign and Booker both played, because there were some games where Booker sat, some games where Payne sat while Paul was sitting, so it was kind of hard to find those exact 7. But Booker went over his current assist line 5 of 7 times, and Payne went over his current assist line 5 of 7 times. And the Timberwolves give up, I think it's like either the 4th or 5th most assists to ball handlers in the league this year. I got Booker earlier today at 5.5 assists. I think it's up to 6.5. I still think he's got a chance to get there. Obviously, the value was a little better, this morning. Ironically enough, they didn't. After Paul got ruled out, it took them 2 hours to move Booker's assist line. Obviously, usually that stuff's pretty close to instantaneous, but I think I got it a half hour after. I should have been a little quicker, but still got it. But I think either one of those is pretty good. If you wanted to ladder one of them, it's probably better to ladder Campaign. He went double-digit assists in 3 out of 7 last year with Booker, without Paul. I guess the other factor here in play is that also no Cam Johnson. Just means the ball's going to be in both of these guys' hands a ton. What do you think on those?
Yeah, no, I like him. I can see it. I could definitely see it.
And then the other play is we just got to keep riding the Darius Garland train until the books adjust. He's tied for the most potential assists still over since he's come back. And they're still putting it 8.5 for plus money. So I'm on that again. Obviously, I know we talked about that the other day, and he cashed his assist line middle of the second quarter. He got that double-double for plus 265 in the middle of the third quarter. And I just think that this Cleveland team creates some matchup issues for Sacramento, as you kind of touched on earlier. Garland's kind of matchup proof with the assists because that team can score in so many ways, whether it's, LeVert and Mitchell, as guards on the wing, whether it's spot up shooting with Love Osman or Dean Wade, or whether it's, in the interior with Mobley and Allen. Like, there's just a lot of different ways that he can get to his assist line. I think Garland, I said that he was good for 2 lobs the other day. I think I was lying. I think he had like 3 or 4.
Right.
Like just cheap assists. You know what I mean? Because he plays that game where it kind of looks like he's shooting floaters, so they don't even try to intercept it, while it's in the air, and then just one of the bigs just kind of stuffs it home. Until this line moves to 9.5, I'm going to play it every single day. He's averaging 10.3 assists per game in the games that he's come back, and we can get it 8.5 for plus money. Like that has to be a must.
Yeah, absolutely. So love it.
That's what I'm on.
Love it. Look, Ben. Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash him tonight, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely, bro. Amar, I think is how you pronounce that. Am I getting that right, bro? How you doing, man? Welcome up.
Hey, what's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How are you? Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. No, my bad. It just wasn't showing that the mic was speaking on my end. But no, I appreciate you for letting me come back up here after I gave a shitty-ass play out last time. I'm not going to lie. My bad.
It be like that, bro. I host the show and I give out bad plays all the time too, man. We trying to learn it and keep it moving, right?
No, I swear to God. By the way, speaking of potential assists, Tyrese Halliburton last game had 27. I'm looking at on the NBA stat page. Just a ridiculous number. But going back to what you earlier.
Can you hear me? I think you broke up a little bit.
But no, going back to what you were saying earlier, Ben Mathurin. That's the look I wanted to give us tonight. Ben Mathurin just one of the most confident rookies like I've ever seen in my life. Talking about whenever he plays a star, he wants. Specifically, it was LeBron in the quote, but you've seen already this season playing against the Nets both times, going for over 25. I just think playing Jokic tonight against a pretty mid Denver defense, he's gonna just show out, especially coming off a bad performance last game. So.
I like it, bro. And that's why I kind of mentioned them. Like we tend to get off players after they have a bad game, but I wasn't on them last game, so I like them in the bounce back spot. Law averages.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you again, Chris.
Absolutely, bro. Always, man. The car want to kick it to you, and then I got my guy LJ up here too, man. The car, what's going on, bro? What we looking at tonight?
Yo, what's going on, man? I hope you're feeling good over there, man. I've been hearing you coughing the whole time.
Hey, we still trying to cash the car. It don't matter, bro. You know what I mean? I bet you if I cash, the cough will go away, bro. It'll make me feel better.
Yeah, right. It will. Damn right, man. Right. That's why you always work, man. Green counts. Green work.
That's a fact.
But I got 3 plays, man. 3 plays for today, man. It's been a minute, man. But I've been watching my Memphis team for a while now. If folks know me out here, they know where I'm coming at today, man. You kind of mentioned it earlier with San Antonio Spurs being one of the fastest paced teams. And even though Steven Adams is out, I kind of like that a little bit for Memphis Grizzlies, man. So I'm going with the first quarter team total 29.5. Memphis has knocked this out the park the last couple games and stuff like that. So that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for them to get into a groove. And I love that they play in San Antonio. They want to get that taste out their mouth about Brooklyn. So I believe they're going to come out here and hit that 29.5. I'm going to have that be a full unit play for me right there. You mentioned it earlier, too, about the Clippers and the Lakers. I'm taking that under. That's gold for me right there. I believe those two teams is going to be dribbling ball half court game. LeBron with his swollen ankle, Mr. Glass out there. I mean, come on, man. It's going to be a super slow paced game, man. So yeah, give me that under for tonight. And then my strong lean, I haven't made it official yet, but I'm probably going to do it because I've been looking at the numbers on it. Cade Cunningham combo. 32.5. I'm going over that, man. The last games he's been playing Boston, man, he's done this a lot, man. He plays Boston very well.
That's a fact.
Detroit has covered against Boston almost all the time. I think 9 straight Detroit has covered against Boston. No, 8 straight. I'm sorry.
8 in a row. Yep.
All those games. Cade Cunningham has hit that number, consistently. So in order for them to do it tonight, if they're going to have any chance against Boston, he needs to go out there and snap. So, actually, me just talking myself into that one, saying he's going to snap. I'm about to go ahead and place that one right now.
So that's Cade over 29.5 points plus assists?
Yeah, over 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Oh, you taking the whole thing. Okay, 32.5 points PRAs. Okay, got you. I like that look.
Sir.
I like that look a lot, Dakar.
Yeah, those 3 plays, man. Hope you cash tonight, man. Hope you feel better, man. Definitely, man. So let's get this green tonight, man. Thanks for letting me come here.
Absolutely, Dakar. Best of luck to you, my brother. Best of luck, man.
Yes, sir.
LJ, let me kick it to you. What you want tonight, LJ? I know you got some looks.
Yeah, what's going on, Chris, man? Hope you get better, man.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Ain't nothing but a little cough, man. Ain't nothing that's gonna hold me down.
Already, I just want to hit you with some bangers right quick before I get off. I'm picking on Portland, San Antonio, and the Rockies tonight, my friend. We're gonna start off Jalen McDaniels for the Hornets. He's had 12 steals in his last 5 games. Portland allows 9 steals per game, so we're gonna go over 1.5 steals for Jalen McDaniels at plus 225.
Okay.
We're going to hit up Toronto and the Rockets. The Rockets also allow 9 steals per game, and they're averaging 17 turnovers. So we go back to the well. OG Anunoby, over 2.5 steals. I'm going to take that plus 300 because he's had 22 steals in his last 5 games. So I don't see him having a problem getting with the Rockets. Like I said, the Rockets turn the ball over the most in the NBA. So Toronto should have no problem with them. Going to Memphis and the Spurs, John Morant. Over 7.5 assists, minus 136, because he's averaging 8 in his last 4 games. He averaged 6 last year in the 3 games versus the Spurs, and the Spurs are allowing 7+ assists in the last 3 games to the guard position. And in the same game, Dylan Brooks, 2+ steals, plus 200, because he's had 7 steals in his last 6 games. So those are my bangers right there, bro. I'll keep it short and quick for you.
My man, appreciate the looks. Appreciate how quick you was with the insight too, LJ. And I know you did your homework, bro. You always do your due diligence, man. I appreciate your work, and I appreciate you sharing it, bro, for sure. Best of luck tonight, LJ.
Already, man. Best of luck to you, sir.
Absolutely, bro. Let's get to it. Monotone, what's going on, my guy with the blue check? What up, Monotone? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, man. We got a great slate today. A lot of action going. I'm going to go back to the first quarter. For people that don't know, DraftKings, if you go in the same game parlay, you can bet on first quarter stats. It's one of the easiest markets in the world. And one of my favorite spots today is in this new battle. I'm going Julius Randle for first quarter points, pairing that up with Royce O'Neal to these. I love both of these spots. Randall's averaging 7.4 first quarter points this season so far, and we're getting that number at only 4. When we look at his history versus KD, they played 3 times this season. He scored 12 points, and 2 points. And in the 2-point game, he obviously was very inefficient. So I love the volume. I love Randall in the first quarter. He's been great in the first quarter this season. Like I said, 7.4 points puts him in the top 10 in the NBA so far. So to get that at 4 points is a steal. And then Royce O'Neal has been a huge benefactor of the Kyrie Irving use. He's played 39 and 41 minutes in his last 2 games. They really don't have a choice, right? This team is pretty limited. And I've been playing Royce 2 threes every single game. So the opportunity's there. I expect him to get the job done. And then I will drop one more too. I have a bunch. There's obviously too many to get to. I don't want to waste the next couple hours up here, but I want Fred VanVleet for first quarter points, and I paired that up with a Gary Trent steal. Somebody just mentioned OG steal. I love that spot. The Raptors are a great team for those steals and blocks. That's just the way they play, and now they get a Rockets matchup who have the 2nd most turnovers in the league, and that's because they got a very young guard duo, right? Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. They're going to allow those turnovers when you play at such a fast pace and you have young guards. So I definitely like all those defensive props. I went with Gary Trent to get a steal. He has won in every single game so far. And then I paired that up with Fred VanVleet to go for 4 first quarter points. Easy Rockets defensive matchup. No Siakam. Has hit this in both games without Siakam. And the volume should be there. So plenty of good spots today, but those are probably 2 of my favorite.
Love them, Monotone. Love the early looks, bro. Get that cash and get out of there. Love it, Monotone. Appreciate you sharing that, bro. Best of luck to you and everybody else that wants to, that's going to tail those first quarter. I know a lot of people make money off those. Also, real quick before I come to Vaughn, if you guys want to, you can follow the co-host page, the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, and tweet your plays to that page. If you tweet your plays to that page, I'll retweet them. So everybody that's coming in that maybe didn't hear a look or whatever the case might be, if you want to come up, or even if you want to come up and share your play and then tweet it, that's fine. But if you don't want to, then that's fine as well. You could just add the page and I'll retweet it so people can see all the plays within the show. So wait for you guys to gain followers or just contribute to the gambling community, man. So definitely do that if you're interested. Vaughn, I want to kick it to you, and then my guy Canadian Cam in the building as well. What's up, Vaughn?
Yes, sir. You hear me good, bro?
Yeah, you good.
All right, bet, man. So first play, my favorite play of the day, I already tweeted it to the ChrisBeCappinn show, is Denver and Indiana first half team total over 120 and a half for both teams. So we know these two of the worst defensive teams. We have the Denver Nuggets as the best first quarter team. We have the Indiana Pacers as one of the top scoring second quarter teams. We have the Pacers as the worst first quarter defense. We have two of the top 7 teams in pace. We have Indiana allowing teams to shoot, I think, 41% from 3. So we like everything about that high pace, high scoring game. We expect that game to probably get to about 127, 128 in the first half. That's my favorite play of the day. Also, we took Devin Booker points and Donovan Mitchell points as well. Really like both of those guys in bounce back spots. Devin Booker tonight with no Chris Paul. We know his usage typically goes up. Also, I see a decent amount of points being scored in that game. One of the nuggets I found while looking at that game also is that the Minnesota Timberwolves starting lineup with Rudy Gobert is the worst lineup per 100 possessions. So just a little nugget I seen.
I saw that too.
We always looking at that. I like Cleveland first quarter as a lane spread. I think it's 1.5 or 2.5. Really solid play right there. Love Cleveland in a bounce back spot, especially after blowing that 12-point lead in like the last minute and a half. Also, I sprinkled on Miles Turner and DeAndre Ayton, both double. I think them two parlayed together is plus 773. So I sprinkled a little bit on that. My last play will be one of my lanes is the Atlanta Hawks first quarter. And this isn't so much a play of Atlanta or against Utah, but it's just the travel spot. Atlanta been at home, I think since like November 4th, something like that. We have the Utah Jazz, who have been in Utah, LA for a few days. They've been traveling all around the place, and then you get them going to the East Coast. So that first quarter is minus 1.5. And I sprinkled a little bit on Memphis first quarter as well against the Spurs. As opposed to going to the total, man. We like Memphis tonight. They kind of get back to it, and then also I got it at minus 1.5, and Keldon Johnson got ruled out, and it's still at 1.5. So just a couple of plays we sprinkled on tonight. Got a little bit more volume out than usual because we won't have much volume out tomorrow.
Okay, hey, I like the looks, Vaughn. Best of luck, my brother. I hope you cash it, man. Cam, I want to come to you, and then got Degenerates in the house too. What's up, Cam? How you doing, bro?
Hey, yo, what's good? Y'all good?
Yeah, you good?
Let's get into it real quick. All right. My first one is, this is just becoming an auto bet for me, is Shea Alexander over 32.5 points and assists. Minus 115 on Bet365. I think it's minus 120 on DK and FanDuel. He's hit it the last 7 to 9. There's no Giannis. He's just, as long as that doesn't stay juiced, I'm a bet it. I don't care. Like at this stage, anybody who's watching him play, he's just a man possessed right now. And there's also another lean in that game. If you're interested in defensive stats on him, his over blocks and steals is over 2.5 at plus 130. That's not official for me, but he's been hitting that in the last 3-4 games too if you want the plus money. But my official is over 32.5 points and assists of minus 115. Jamal Murray, same thing. Let's combo again. Points and assists over 23.5. Last 3 of 4 games he's hit that. The reason I've gone 3 of 4 games, so just so you don't think I'm cherry picking, is because that's when his minutes have ramped up. He came out in the media and said, I'm getting better, I'm feeling better, I'm getting more involved. It's clearly seeing his usage is up. If you care about those numbers, I look at it through fantasy and stuff. His usage is going up. 23.5 is not a number you're going to see very often moving forward, and that's at minus 115 on Bet365 as well. So I really like those 2 plays. And then on DraftKings, Devin Vassell over 18.5 plus 100. Seeing that at plus money makes no sense to me. He basically averages 20 points a game. He was injured for a little bit out, but as long as he's playing and now he's back in the starting lineup, anything in and around plus money for him to hit 20 points with his usage, he's essentially he's what's the word I like to use? He's blow up proof, right? They're gonna play him regardless. It's not matter about the game's going. He's gonna play, and he's the second highest usage player on that team. Keldon Johnson's the number 1, so that's at plus 100 on DraftKings. And then I love all the Raptors looks. By the way, I agree with every single one of them. I'm actually gonna play that OG Anunoby one. My Raptors look is Fred VanVleet over 3.5 threes. He's taken, I think, 30 over the last 2 games. Over 3.5 at plus 132. He's like, it's just his percentage is 35, 36 on the season. Threes. It's just an auto for me when it comes to the Raptors, and everybody knows I'm a Raptors fan. I agree fully with all of the defensive stats. Like, I'm gonna go look at what Fred's is too right now. I didn't look at the OG over 2.5. I looked at the one at over 2.5 at plus 300. That's just worth it when you think about how we average like 8 to 9 steals a game or something stupid. So against a team that really enjoys turning the ball over, our defensive stats are a good look for anybody tonight. But my last official sire is Fred VanVleet over 3.5 threes plus 132. So those are my 4 plays for tonight.
Like him, Kim. We actually on the same players tonight too, bro. So I hope you cash, because I'm on Jamal Murray points over 18.5, and I'm also with you on SGA. I took his points over 27.5 too. My favorite 2 player props. So love your looks, bro.
We get the points. That means hopefully they get a couple more assists. We good.
Right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're both playing against fast-paced teams too, so I think we should get there, bro, for sure.
Respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to you, my brother.
Best of luck.
Absolutely. D-Jens, I want to kick it to you, bro. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, Chris? How you doing tonight? Exciting slate ahead of us, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. DJ and squad's feeling good about our NBA reads. You know, Monday night we had 3-0 for a +4 unit night, and we're kind of sticking with some old reliables tonight. You know, we're going back to Halliburton over points. It's 8-2 on the year, with 6-1 for the D-Gens this year. We're kind of just picking and choosing our spots with them, and I don't want to call it an auto play, but it damn near feels like it. Taking him every night, you know, you just got to look at who he's matched up against. With Duarte's injury, he's getting a couple more looks from 3, and it honestly shouldn't have hit Monday night, but he got hot from 3, and that kind of just shows you, you know, you get a guy like Halliburton, I think he's going to be a future All-Star, and you get this total this low, you know, he can, if he can put together one quarter where he's streaky and shooting, it's going to cash. But before, he said he liked the Raptors. We like Van Fleet tonight, as long as that doesn't get blown out. I think his over 20.5 points should hit. But then a spot that we like tonight too, I think this is one of our favorite plays. We're going 2 units on Desmond Bane over tonight. And Bane, you know, he's playing at an all-star level to start the year. His perimeter shooting is just a perfect complement to Ja Morant. You know, he wants to drive first to get to that lane. It really opens up and creates a lot of shots for Bane. And he's averaging 24 points a game, shooting the ball 17.5 times. He leads the league in 3-point attempts with 8.5, and that's just a perfect opportunity tonight against a San Antonio defense that's 25th in opponent 3-point percentage. They're 29th in points allowed on the season. They have the worst defensive rating in the league, and their defense just overall is 28th ranked. So I think Bane's going to get his points tonight, and you know, I thought the spread would be a little bit higher in this one, but Vegas only has it at 5.5. So they don't think it should be as big of a blowout as I kind of thought, which inevitably led me to taking this Bane over tonight. And then my last point, just want to make real quick, the Spurs, you know, they're the second fastest paced team in the NBA, which, I mean, that's dangerous against this Memphis team with John Bane. You know, they can run up and down the court. Bane's just going to get a lot more opportunities than he normally does. And I don't want to say, you never want to say a prop's going to hit easy, but I don't know. I could see this one cashing mid-third if everything goes well. But that's all we got tonight, Chris. And love the slate, and appreciate you for having us as always. And love hearing what everyone in the prop community has to give out, guys.
Absolutely, DJ, and I appreciate you, bro. You know, I love that you say you're picking and choosing your spots, man, because I feel like so often people, you know, they just find a player that they like and they take them against anybody, and you know that's not always the recipe for success because then the player would just, you know, cash their prop every single time. So I love that you say that, you know, like you said, you're picking and choosing your spots. Love that, love that, love that. So that Dallas and Orlando game just went to halftime. Dallas is up 54-50. So if you bet the first half plus the 4.5, you cashed. We don't know about the full game yet, but Dallas, like I said, sleepy spot. They only winning by 4 points in Orlando, and have given up 50 points without Paulo on the floor. So I'm interested to see that second half. I'm gonna shut this down. But I do, Ski. I don't know if you're available now. I see you in the chat, bro. And a lot of people give out player props, which I absolutely love. But nobody really talks too much about sides. And I'm looking at this, you know, just since people been talking, I'm looking at this Blazers and Charlotte game. I didn't really cap this game too much because a lot was going on. But now we got news that Simon is in, and my guy Ski. That's what I want right here. Ski, let me see if you can get you connected, Ski. Ski, so talk to me real quick, Ski. Tell me why I shouldn't lay these 2.5, bro, with Portland when they got CJ and I'm sorry, not CJ gone. They got Simons in and they got Damon. They only laying 2.5, and I know that Jeremy Grant's out. I know Nurkic is out. I see they're starting Eubanks, but why shouldn't I lay these 2.5, Ski, when the Charlotte team has been, you know, mediocre at best and, you know, not really covering spreads or winning games? What you think about that, Ski? I don't know if you was on this game or not, or if you capped it at all.
I didn't look at the game too. I mean, like I didn't bet this game. I said that I looked at it, but what I'll say is, like in general, bro, like any game, do you want to bet the Blazers as favorites? That's where I'm gonna start. I don't think they're the kind of team I want to lay points with. And when I think about that, I'm like, Charlotte lost 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Blazers play tomorrow too. Like the bookmakers only gonna get beat for so much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at teams after they lose 5 games in a row. That's kind of when the bookmakers start adjusting and put the numbers kind of fair. So with everybody out for Portland and them still laying points and them on the road playing again tomorrow, I just don't think it's a good bet to expect them to win by any margin. That's just how I feel.
But Ski, I don't know if you heard me. See, Simons and Dame got rolled in, right? Ain't that what I saw?
They are.
They are?
But Nurkic is out, and I think a couple other people's out. I mean, they'll be able to score, but are they going to be able to stop anybody? I don't know. It just there's 13 games today, bro.
A lot better stuff on the slate. I know that's where you was going to. I don't watch too many of your shows, bro. Nah, I'm with you, Ski. I just felt like we might be getting a discount. They could, you know, win a game by one possession. I would hope so, at least anyway. Hey, Ski, talk to me a little bit about. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I see it just got posted. I see you had something on We Are the North tonight, man. What you on in that, bro? Can you share with me?
Yeah, I got 2 plays that didn't move on lines. That's one of them.
Okay.
And really, it's just a bet. So we're gonna bet against the Rockets because it's kind of like, you know, they exhale, they good, they finally got a win. You know, the sky is not falling anymore.
Right.
And for Toronto, they just got beat down. They got blown out, so they should be pissed off coming back to the house to get a win in this one. So first off, I looked at the Raptors off a loss as a home favorite. They're 8-1 against the spread. They win by about 11 points per game. And we know when the Rockets lose, they lose by margin. This season so far is by about 11 points per game. I know last season it was like closer to 13, 14 points per game. So I really don't think the spread is relevant. I think you just kind of pick the winner in this game. And in general, we know the Rockets don't play defense, but last 5 games, they're 27th defensive rated team compared to Toronto. And Toronto just got a lot of length over there. They're going to be making it difficult for this Rockets team to score. And Toronto's offense, they've been solid. They're the 3rd best offensive rated team last 5 games. So I expect that to continue. And I just think this is when it gets, you know, out of hand early. I didn't triple up on it with a first quarter, first half. But I think the full game, they win by like close to 20 points.
Love it, Ski. So that's official for me too. I actually was waiting for the guys from BetUS to send my video back, but I actually took the first half though, Ski. So I'm on the first half official in that game. Love the spot, Ski. Love the spot for Toronto tonight, especially off the loss. I think that makes me like it even more. And Toronto off a win. I mean, not Toronto. The Rockets. I looked at Ski off an away win when their next game is away. Stats are terrible. Also, like looking at them off of scoring 130 points, they typically come back and only score 99 points. So in the first half, they're losing that by average of 17 points. So I took the first half minus the 5.5. So I absolutely love that spot. They get smacked up in the first half in the first quarter in those games.
Yeah, I can't. I really wanted to get there too, but I only have 4 NBA plays today, I think, and I just didn't want to load all of them up on this game.
On one game, yeah, for sure. No, I totally understand that. You got anything else you want to share, Ski? Say it again.
You bet the Laker game?
Nah, but I'm looking towards the under. I just ain't got there yet. What you on? You taking us tonight? You taking the under? The under?
Yeah, because the Clippers, they offense has been terrible, bro. Until they show me they could score consistently, like I'm gonna keep betting against it. Defense is the one thing both of these teams have been able to do well at some point throughout the season. Lakers last 5 games, not so much, but it was what they could at least hold their head on to start the season. And I know they're capable versus this lackluster Clippers offense. And then so I just look at the number for one. The Clippers are 9-2 to the under, and I think their games are averaging closer to 211 points. So I just thought this one was way too high to start. And we know the Clippers play at the slow pace. The last 5 games is 21st. So they're at both teams at the house really. But I think Clippers are going to control the pace in this game, and they're not going to win by shooting lights out. They're going to win by playing good defense. And the Lakers, they've been getting smacked up by this team. I think they'll bring a decent effort. And with effort, that means defense. Both teams bottom 6 in 3-point percentage on the season, and then they're 11th and 9th defending the 3. I just see a lot of defense, a slow-paced game, and I think it stays under.
What you get the under, Ski? What was it, like 221 or something like that? Am I right?
No, I bet it at 219 and a half.
Under 219. I got it on my short list. I just ain't bet it yet. Everything you said made sense, Ski. The other thing I think that I was looking at too, Ski, was when I tried to run the SDQL, it didn't come up correctly because it was missing one game. But for us, Patrick Beverley hasn't played in the last 2 games, and like his impact is like tremendous. Also, he probably holds a grudge against the Clippers as well. I'm pretty sure I'll be listening to his podcast. He got a funny podcast, bro. Patrick Beverley, a funny guy. And he talked about like enjoying guarding these guys that he don't really get a chance to guard too often, like CJ McCollum, because he always had to guard Dame. And he locked CJ up in the fourth quarter and overtime against the Pelicans the other day. So I look forward to him, being able to guard PG tonight. I'm not saying going to stop him, but I definitely think he slows him down a little bit for sure. We'll only be able to look towards that under ski. I'm probably going to bet that with you, bro. Like I said, it was on my short list already. And that's what, I like that a lot, Ski. I'm riding with you on that. I think the reason why I was mentioning Patrick Beverley, so we gave up 139 points in Utah the other day, and the game before that against Cleveland, they went crazy in the second half. We couldn't stop anybody either. We know that we lost the game because of the guard play, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, of course. But having him back, I think I think that helps set the defensive tone as well. And like you said, desperation time for the Lakers. They don't want to start 2-9. Can it happen? Yeah, but if it does happen, I do think it'll be because it's a low-scoring defensive game for sure. And I talked about it before you joined, Ski. I think we could see a 105 to 102 game, honestly. So I love that look too, Ski.
Let me ask you something real quick, bro, before I hop off here.
Yeah, what you got?
I saw your tweet about the Giannis out and stuff, looking at Bobby Porter's rebounds. I was thinking the same thing, but then I was just like, do I want to bet over this high number? Like, did you end up getting Bobby Porter's? Or do you think we can maybe look at Brook Lopez? Maybe he has a low number.
Nothing, Ski. I do think that Brook Lopez is in play though, because his number didn't jump at all. Like, it's still like 7.5. Like, I just feel like even though he stands around the perimeter, even from his days being back in LA, it's like this dude was allergic to rebounds. Like he just didn't want to go get him. But I do feel like he'll probably pick it up today. I think, Ski, like looking at Bobby Portis' points, Bobby Portis came out before the season started to talk about, wanting to win sixth man of the year. And I just think without Drew and without, Giannis, he's the guy on the floor that's going to be the focal point of the offense. So I actually look towards his 20.5 points, or you take them both, right? Like, I think he impacts the game enough to get 20 points and, 15 rebounds. Even though that number sounds crazy, we got to remember that it's against OKC, and he actually just cleared this number against them before. So he's not a guy that's bashful at all. I think he's going to be out there trying to get his numbers, understanding that the offense, is without the top three guys because Chris Middleton's not there either. So I look for him to have a big game. Ski, what you think about that?
That sounds good to me. Shit, it sounds like we need to be on points, rebounds, assists, and if you're gonna put them both together like that.
I agree. Super Kells in the YouTube chat said 32. His points and rebounds 32.5. I think he gets that. I think he gets that for sure. So I'm gonna write that one down too. So I'm gonna add that to my short list too. I'm glad you brought that back up because I had totally forgot about that.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, Ski.
And I'm gonna keep tuning in.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate you being here, Ski, always, bro. And best of luck to you on all your action you got tonight too. Monotone, kick it to you, and then we're gonna close out. I'm gonna give a recap of all my bets as well. What's up, Monotone?
Yeah, the final one I wanted to throw is actually in that game, and I will say too, dating back to 2020, Brook Lopez actually sees a decrease in rebounding opportunities with Giannis out, and Bobby Portis sees the bigger increase. So I do like the Bobby Portis look. I think he'll be all over the place. I mean, who's going to guard him on that Thunder team? Really, really, really limited options.
Right.
Earl, is he going to stop Bobby Portis? I don't think so. But
right.
I do like that look. I wanted to say, too, I played SGA, 8 first quarter points and 1 steal for -125. That was my final ad. SGA's been a first quarter legend so far this season. He's second in first quarter usage, only behind Luka. That's obviously good territory to be in. Averaging over 10 first quarter points so far this season. And he has a steal in every game except one so far. I think the steal part should be pretty easy. The Bucks' 2 primary ball handlers are out, which obviously is just going to mean more turnovers in general. So I like this SGA look too to close things out. Nice,
Monotone. I like that look too, bro. I think this is, a chance where he actually got a chance to beat them. And because I always like taking player props over when the spread isn't, inflated. Like I wouldn't be looking at Tatum or Jaylen Brown tonight just because the spread's 13. It could be any of those guys. It could be a Brogdon night. It could be a Derek White night. It could be a Grant Williams night. So when the spread is close, it implies that typically the game's not going to be blowout. It's a blowout proof game. Not saying that it can't happen, but I absolutely love the look because and that's one of the reasons why I play SGA points too. Another quick look, like sneaky look. Josh Hart rebounds, man, over 8.5. I see it at plus money. He's cleared his number a couple times already. And today, without Jeremy Grant, is only going to present, more rebound opportunities for him. Last 3 games, 9, 7, and 9 against, much better rebounding teams than Charlotte, playing Miami and Phoenix in the last 2 games. I like that look too, man. I think that's a sneaky look. I don't know if I'm a player or not, but, I just kind of wanted to give that out as well. No Jeremy Grant is going, definitely mean more rebound opportunities. Josh Hart plays extremely hard. He's playing over 37, 32, 38, and 40 minutes in the last couple games. And the spread implies that, this game also won't be blowout proof with, the Blazers laying 2.5. So it should be another close game, but not something that I played. Just wanted to kind of run it by you guys. And that's what I got, man. Real quick recap. Excuse me. What I'm on officially, I tweeted out the video for Bet US just now. That Bet US video is the Toronto Raptors minus 5.5 in the first half. I think, like I said, I think that games get out of hand early. I didn't catch the 2.5 for the first quarter, so I just played the first half over 5.5. First half minus 5.5 for Toronto. Also official on SGA points over 27.5. And I love Mr. Jamal Murray over 18.5 points as well. Those were the 3 officials. I'm going to play Bobby Portis PRAs over, like me and Ski just talked about. Love that look as well. And I'm going to get there on the Lakers and the Clippers under as well. I hadn't played any totals, but I like that one a lot. Also, looking at that Bulls, I didn't get a chance to finish capping this one. I got a little busy earlier. But that Bulls and Pelicans, I'm looking at the under in that game too. If I make that official, I'll tweet that one out. I'm gonna do some work on that one real quick, but I do think that that's gonna be a defensive game. Both of those, I think the Pelicans have something to prove defensively because they've looked terrible recently in games where they've been on back-to-backs and 3rd and 4s, and now they get an equal rest advantage. I think the Bulls have been a much underrated defensive team. They're top 5 defensive rating over the last 5 games. And I think that they have the size, length, and athleticism to match up with that team, as well. So I like that. I like that game to go under. I think the total was 233, and they got pushed up to 234.5. I see defense in that game and not a lot of scoring. So I'm gonna be looking to play that Pelicans and Bulls game under as well. But that's what I got for you guys, man. If you're watching on YouTube, I always tell you guys hit the like button for me. Shout out to you guys for getting me to 2,000 followers, 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate that, more than I can thank you guys for verbally. And then, like I mentioned, 17K on Twitter, man. I appreciate that as well. Best of luck to you guys on all your bets. Tomorrow morning, I'm live again, 7 a.m. Eastern time, man. Come through, cashed it with Chris in the morning, kind of getting ahead of some of the lines, looking at some early stuff to kind of get the wheels turning for the day. And then we'll be back tomorrow, 5:15 Eastern time, as always, man. I appreciate you guys for being here. And I like to end the show with this. This is not financial consultation. This is theory. It's logic. It's analytics. And, when you're making your bets, bet with your head, not over it. Best of luck on all your action tonight, man. I'm out.